to call us over when his voice became small. Prayer cards for St. Jude and Sarita Colonia. His statue of San Martín, and a seashell he had brought home from a beach long ago. His favorite picture, however, one of him, my mother, and my grandmother on a boat in Yarinacocha, is in my bedroom. My mother, superstitious as she is, forbade the image of any living person on an altar, especially her own. Over the last 3 years, new additions have appeared. An amethyst has joined the pyrite. So has a glass rose I found at the Salvation Army, and which my mother insisted be kept in the hallway until she was able to cleanse it. Right now, there are the pink flowers, which I bring my father regularly, especially on important days like today. He favored peonies for their rosy scent and fullness. It is spring. They are in bloom for only a little while longer. This period, the 3 months that stretch from his birthday to his death day, is the heaviest of the year. My mother says it is because he comes around during this time. I say it is because the memories do. These days, I mostly tend to the altar, wiping the area with a mixture of my mother's agua florida and tepid New York City tap water. Growing up, she had filled our Brooklyn apartment with its smell, setting water in a glass jar on the fire escape whenever the full moon rose, waking up before the sun to make sure its light never touched the water. Then she'd stuff the jar with orange and lemon peels, cloves, sticks of cinnamon, rum or vodka, whatever was cheaper, and let it sit until the next full moon, when she'd squeeze out the ochre extract, pour it into spray bottles and jars, and use the elixir to cleanse herself, us, our home. It's also what Ma used to wipe down this altar and all the ill bodies she cared for over the years. It's what I used on my father's body during the 6 weeks he was home from the hospital, before death called. A kind of role reversal. How often had he rubbed an egg on my body as a child to take away susto, or el mal de ojo? But there was no escaping the unseen force that lingered during his final days. When I clean the altar now, I repeat the same ritual and prayer I whispered then, a version of what I had seen both my parents do whenever they needed a reset. I rub the mixture behind my ears to open them, press my fingers on the bone beneath my eyes, that I may always see with clarity, and dab the spot between my nose and lips, inhaling the tang of orange peels and cloves, a reminder to breathe. But I never touch my father's urn. Not until a moment ago, when I replaced the old doily it sits on with a new one my mother brought home from work. It's not unusual for my mother to leave notes under her crystals, often with a distinct offering. 1 red rose. Sometimes she'll even include incense or a splash of wine, too. There's a note now, visible under the pyrite. Once the saints have done their work, she takes the petition to the fire escape, where she burns it and scatters the remains. The single red rose is discarded, replaced with a bouquet in all the colors imaginable. But the petitions are always out in the open, never hidden, like this one. Had I not wiped the space clean and moved the urn itself, I might never have seen it. I read it again. Forgive me if I failed you. Remember that I always loved you. What does she mean by putting it under my father's remains? How long has this note been here? What is it she wants him to forgive, even in death? I roll the piece of paper back up